We've done a lot of mapping of the impacts of future sea level rise on Maryland's eastern shore. We actually have a mapping program called the Coastal Atlas, which is it's not as detailed as the sea level rise viewer, so you can't sort of scale in and look at those sort of local economic impacts, but you can input your address and take a look at your property throughout the state of Maryland and overlay information in terms of shoreline erosion, the flood insurance maps, our coastal flood maps, as well as our sea level rise overlay. And we break our sea level rise data at the state level into sort of 0 to 2 and 2 to 4 foot contours. So Don didn't mention that the projections that the Maryland Commission on Climate Change put out in 2008 took into account both that regional land subsidence as well as the global water level rise, as well as some of the melting, projections associated with melting of the ice sheets. And if we control emissions on the low end, our projections are that we would see 2.7 feet of sea level rise by the year 2100. If we don't do as well at controlling emissions, on the high end, the projection would be about 3.4 feet of sea level rise. So you can see that it's important, that controlling emissions can have effect even here in Maryland in terms of the rate of sea level rise that we may experience over the next 100 years. So in terms of what that means for the eastern shore, it's a matter of time. Was the question, are we going to see massive land loss on the eastern shore?
Or will it no longer be there?
Will it no longer be there? Probably, centuries and centuries from now, it may be a different story. But within your lifetime, the eastern shore will most notably still be there. But there will be significant changes to the landscape in the way it looks today. So currently, or historically, if we analyze just erosion, we lose about 580 acres a year in Maryland to shoreline erosion. We've also estimated that we may see upwards of 400,000 acres of loss of our tidal wetlands on the Delmarva Peninsula. So that's not necessarily all land loss, but it's a change in the sort of coastal landscape that's there today. So in a situation like Ocean City, we're using man-made interventions to maintain the beach, and that tourism base. So I can tell you that Ocean City will remain there. We will continue to nourish that beach and maintain the sand that's needed to protect that barrier island. But centuries and centuries from now, there probably will be loss, of the majority of the Delmarva Peninsula. But within your lifetime, there will be obviously some significant changes, but it will still be there.